each one of you joining us for this webinar on how to start a startup. We are as eager as you for your new learning experience with our lead instructor, 𝐂𝐴 Mr. Kamal Chhabra. He's also the former director of International Relations North America and the CEO of 𝐒𝐭𝐚𝐫𝐿. So hope you're going to have a great learning experience. Over to you, Kamal sir.
Thanks a lot, Alisha, for sharing wonderful introduction about myself. Before we get into like PowerPoint presentation, before we get into more details about like how to start a startup, before that, I want to know like how much you are eager to start your own business, to start an entrepreneurship journey. Before that, like let's understand what this startup breed is, what the DNA is required to become a startup. How many of you heard about like the new unicorns in the India? Have you heard about Byju's? Give me a thumbs up, or you can say hi. Give me some expression, cool. How many of you have heard about Bharat Pay? I think most of you might be watching Shark Tank these days. You might be seeing any Mr. Grover, like he's also Delhiite, right? He's also passed out from Bhagat Singh College. And how many of you have heard about like Flipkart? I'm sure you might be doing all the shopping. I'm sure you might be riding on Ola, right? I'm sure you might be using Zomato at least, right? Swiggy, right? Paytm, all these things. Nykaa, have you heard about Nykaa? Right? Have you heard about Boat in Shark Tank? This guy is also a chartered accountant, right? And I'm sure you might have heard about Bank Bazaar, Policy Bazaar. These all are unicorn, like Indian established unicorn, right? And then if you look at like the global side, how many of you use Facebook? Have you guys use Facebook? Are you on Facebook? Right? You guys use LinkedIn? You guys are on Insta? Are you using Snapchat? Right? You use Google. How many times in a day you use Google? Maybe 5 times, 10 times, 15 times, or like me, more than 50 times in a day. Right? How many of you use YouTube? Right? Which mobile phone you use? Android or iOS? Give me a response, at least on chat box, right? You guys use laptops? Which one? Dell, Lenovo, HP, or Apple, right? Why I'm sharing these things with you, so that you understand from where you can start and where you can reach. The Google, it's their overall, you can say valuation is more than $3 trillion. And like Indian economic, how much is the GDP we have? $2.67 trillion. The entire Indian GDP is $2.67 trillion, and individual Google valuation is more than $3 trillion. Can you imagine a company can reach to that heights? And most important thing to know here is all these leading companies are being managed by the Indian CEOs. Right? And we all are sitting here and wants to become an entrepreneur, but we do not know the path to get there. Right? If you see Microsoft, the CEO, Satya Nadella, he's also an Indian guy, right? Google is being led by Sundar Pichai, right? PepsiCo, Indra Nooyi, General Motors, Divya Sundaram, right? If you see all these big companies has been led by such a fantastic Indian brains. And we have, being an Indian, we feel we have loosed out these brains to different country. That's the reason like this government from last couple of years making a significant impact or making significant efforts to generate the entrepreneur, generate the opportunities for the generation like you and I. right? This is a right time to become an entrepreneur. If you see almost all the government department, whether it's science and technology department, whether it's finance department, whether it's Niti Aayog, whether it's MIT, whether it's MSME department, or in fact, they have dedicatedly opened up a separate wing called Invest India. You know, Niti Aayog, they have Atal Incubation Center, they have Atal Incubation Mission, they have Tinkering Labs, right? If you see Science and Technology Department of Government of India, they have all over more than 25 hubs, and in which they are creating more than 500 spoke, right? MIT, they have 1000 plus incubation center. And if you see this Invest India program, they have thousands and crores rupees just sitting on their desk. No one is there to get those investment. They have Startup India. You have heard about Make in India, right? Have you heard about all these buzzwords? Make in India, Startup India, Agni, Invest India, GEMS portal. These all are tools freely available to each one of us. If he wants to avail those facilities, if we have those capabilities to avail those facilities. These things are there are so many things government has put in place in last 5 to 6 years to make, you can say, education and this entrepreneurship accessible and affordable to each one of us, right? But it's only we do not have right mentor, we do not have right coaches, we do not have right guidance to how to avail those opportunities and how to make those ideas into a saleable and scalable business model. That's the reason we all are here. In next 1 hour to 1 hour 15 minutes, I'll walk you through the overall process which probably you might be passing through in your entrepreneurship journey. It may be like very high level overview because in 1.5 hours, it's hard to put everything in table, but I can give you guaranteed no one on the earth can give in 1.5 hours better than this, what we're going to deliver in next 1 hour to 1.5 hours. And I request each one of you to please open up your notebook and make the note of this session. I'm telling you this session would be extremely informative and it would be a guidelines for you if you genuinely wants to become an entrepreneur, right? So without wasting much of your time, because we already have a limited time to cover up a lot of stuff, I'll directly take you into a small presentation. And I again request you, each one of you, to please make the note. This session would be extremely informative if you genuinely wants to be an entrepreneur. And if you have that fire, you will definitely make each notes. And whenever you have any doubt, any question, you need more clarification, please type in the chat box immediately. Because what happened, like we go in the flow with the PPT, but at the end we miss out what was the question we had in past. So I request each one of you, as and when you have any question, please type in chat box, make a separate note in your notebook so that at the end of session, we'll be having a comfortable time to take up all your questions. Right? So you all are with me? Give me a thumbs up. Cool.
Yes, sir.
Let me share my screen. Let me know when you can see my screen. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you everyone for joining and sparing your precious time, especially on Sunday evening. I'll make sure this session would be extremely informative for each one of you. Let's jump into how to start a startup. So in this webinar, we're going to discuss on how to develop a business idea. You know, most of us in friend circle, when we are on tea break, when we are on a coffee break, or I'm sure when you are drinking, you all might be struggling and thinking about how I can develop an idea. You know, there are a lot of things right, left and center going around in your mind, but you might be struggling to fixing out like what can be a business idea, right? That can take you to the next level, that can make you to the unicorn, that can make you to a G360 account, or that can make you a Fortune 500 company in the world, right? In this webinar, we're going to discuss on how to develop a business idea. That's the most important thing for starting up a startup journey, to have a wonderful idea which is saleable and scalable. Then second important thing, people get an idea, they feel it's $1 million idea, they feel it's a unicorn idea, but unless and until you validate that idea at the ground, you are nothing. You're standing at nothing, right? So in second agenda item, we're going to discuss on how to validate your idea, right? And then once you have a business idea, you have validated that idea, you will reach to a confidence level. Yes, this can hit the ground, this can hit the market. Then how to develop your first product or your services, right? So we're going to discuss on that, how to develop your first product or your prototype. And then once you have a business idea, you have validated that idea, you develop that product. The next important thing is developing a business model. So here we're going to discuss all the 8 steps or all the 8 key requirements to develop a great business model, right? So once you develop a business model, next thing in the world we know, if you are not on tech, then you are not reaching anywhere. If you genuinely wants to scale up and genuinely wants to become a unicorn and genuinely wants to be a big one, then tech should be in your DNA, right? So here we're going to discuss tools and tips for the technology development. And then in the next step, we're going to discuss on third-party service integration in your technologies. So what all third-party integration you might be needing to develop or to grow your business or to scale up your business, right? And then seventh one would be marketing and branding, and no marketing nowadays complete without the digital marketing. So we're going to discuss more on detail about the digital marketing. And then as you're growing, statutory requirements are something you should be aware of, right? Some of you might be from commerce background, some of you from arts background, some of you from science background, some of you from different background. But statutory compliance is something for each one of us to understand, so that we should not be a non-compliance, because any non-compliance can drastically impact and badly impact all things you are doing for the earth, right? And then lastly, how to scale up your business. Scaling up your business, how to go to the next level expansion plan, how to go to the fundraising. So all these 10 things for how to start a startup, we're going to cover in next in this webinar, right? Looks interesting? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, so let's dive into it. How to start a startup as a business idea is the first thing and the foremost thing for any business to develop and any business to grow. 3 major things you all need to keep in mind for a great idea, because what important thing is required for a businessman or a businesswoman is perseverance, right? If something excites you and something that you have a skill set, and for that there's a market demand, then you can develop a business idea around that. For individual, it may be different. For other individual, it may be different. But what you all need to focus is what excites you. That is the most important thing. Why most of the entrepreneurs fail on the earth? Because they just look at the money. In which business they see money and they just jump into it without knowing right, left, center about it, without knowing their strength, without knowing their weaknesses, without knowing their opportunity, without knowing the weaknesses, right? That is the most important thing before starting up anything. First thing is the perseverance, which is being much needed for an entrepreneur. There might be so many days in which you are high, and there are more than those days in which you will be feeling down. There would be like crunch of team, there would be a crunch of finance, there would be a crunch of resources, there would be a crunch of customer. There are so many odds in the initial journey of you to become an entrepreneur, but you can continue in that journey only and only when it excites you. only and only when it matches with your skill set. Only and only when where you see after the tunnel there is a huge light, right? So that's the most important thing for starting up anything. Understand your skill set and understand what keep you moving without having anything. लोग पूछते हैं कि मुझे बिजनेस कब करना चाहिए. मुझे बिजनेस तब नहीं करना चाहिए जब बिजनेस है या अपॉर्चुनिटी है. मुझे बिजनेस तब करना चाहिए जब तक मैं बिजनेस के बिना जी ना सकूं. That is the most important thing. You should be so much passionate about your business, about your idea, about your thought, about what you want to do in your life. Is that whether you are getting your bread and butter or not, whether you are with family or not, whether your friends are with you or not, whether your customer is with you or not, whether your vendors are with you or not, but you can keep moving. You can keep drawing, you can keep creating your own path to get there. You know, no one on the earth has reached to the heights unless and until he or she has faced those odds. So be ready, make your mind ready to face those odds. That's the most important thing. For anything you want to do different in your life, first you should be mentally prepared for it. That is the most important thing, and you will be mentally prepared for it for one time. But in long run, you will be prepared only for that thing that keep you excited throughout your life, that keep you motivated throughout your life, that keep you inspired throughout your life. That is the basic reason those unicorn become a unicorn, those Fortune 500 to become a Fortune 500, because they are mission driven. Because they are mission driven. If you take any mission in your life to make certain change in the world, and that mission excites you, then you can reach to any level. No one can stop you. Second important thing is first understand what you are, understand skill set, understand the market gap. Then understand whether your idea is saleable or not. Whatever you want to develop or whatever the services you want to give to the market is sellable or not. Is it solving any burning problem of your customers or not? Identify there are hundreds of problems, there are thousands of problems, there are millions of problems, but every problem is not a burning problem. Like how in your school days and in your graduation days, you learn the concept of prioritizing. Right? Same way here also, you need to go with the same protocol of prioritizing the burning problem of the customer which you want to solve. If you feel that's a burning problem of the customer and you can provide the best solution to that burning problem and your customer is ready to pay you, then that idea is saleable idea. But more important to become a unicorn, more important to become a Fortune 500 is scalability. There might be certain problem in your college. There might be certain problem in your university. There might be some problem in your neighborhood. There might be certain problem in your city. But if it is not a global problem, if it is not a pan-India problem, you will struggle in expanding. Right? So you'll be struggle in scaling up your business. So when you are identifying the problem of the consumer, identify the total addressable market for that. Total addressable market, you should not look at just your college, just your university, just your area, just pan India. Look at those global problems. That can help you expand your business like anything. So third most important thing for a business idea you need to keep in mind is the scalability of the business. Is this problem which you are resolving is a global problem? That is the question you need to ask to yourself. And if yes, then what is the total addressable market? That means whether you are addressing to let's say females, whether you are addressing to males, whether you are addressing to kids, whether you are addressing to rural area, whether you are addressing to urban area, whether you are addressing to education segment, whether you are addressing to automobile segment, whether you are addressing to real estate segment, and how big is it? Right? That is something you need to evaluate. So 3 things for a business idea. First and foremost thing is you. It is you who gonna develop that business. So first thing, do introspection, identify your strength, identify your weakness, identify the opportunities around you, identify those threats, and then make a wise decision for the business idea, which skill set you have and what excites you throughout your life, what keep you motivated throughout your life, what keep you inspired throughout life. For that, you need to build a mission. You need to build a vision. Then only you can go to the long run. Otherwise, after some months, after some years, you will not go further. If you are living with a mission to make certain change in the world, then definitely you will reach to the heights. But if you are living just for earning purpose, I'm sure after a certain point of time, you will not grow further. Then second important thing is scalability of your idea. Do the small test, whether your consumer is buying it or not, and then understand what is the total addressable market for you, right? So any doubt, any thought on understanding the business idea, developing a business idea, how do I, like come up with some business idea? It will be very hard to give, you can say, random samples or random examples in the small webinar. But after this webinar, if any one of you would like to connect with me for any mentoring or any coaching or guiding support to developing your business idea, I'll be more than happy to help each one of you, right? So, but here objective is to give you entire overview, what all things you need to keep in mind when you are looking for starting up your business, right? Any doubt or any question, feel free to type in chat box. Next thing is idea validation. First, you have developed an idea. Now you want to validate that idea. To validate that idea, first you need to identify what is your target audience. For example, if you are developing a makeup material, then probably like females would be your target audience. If you are developing any product for the kids, then I think kids would be your target audience. If you're developing any product for society, like maybe any dedicated society like 𝐿𝐴𝐻 or like 𝐒𝐭𝐚𝐫𝐿 Samaj or for any such particular kind of community, then probably that community would be your target audience. And if you're developing some product for education, so it may be your school would be your primary school, your secondary school, your elementary school, or your college audience or your university audience, that is something you need to identify for which you have developed the business idea. First and foremost thing, identify your target audience. People do a lot of good things right, left, and center, but if you hit to the right audience, it will click immediately. It will increase your success ratio. It will increase the opportunity for your success in one, right? Second thing is deep market research. Deep market research is, from where you will get the raw material. If you're developing any product, from where do you get the raw material? What are the sourcing options available? What is the distribution channel available? What is the plant and machinery would be required, right? What all competition we have in market, how they have developed those products, how your product would be different than those, right? Those deep market research is very much needed at local level. And if you genuinely wants to grow at a global level, must do a market research and market survey with the global market player of your product and service in which you want to develop your business. Third and most important thing is competitor analysis. Never feel your competition do not know anything. They have, you can say, eagle eye on everything what you are doing and what other competitors are doing. So as you also should have an eagle eye to understand the competition in detail, their business, their strategy, how they're acquiring customer, how they're acquiring raw materials, how they're manufacturing it, how they are selling it, what's the distribution channel. It helps a lot in developing your own business model. I'm telling you more than 80% things for your business model will come from your market research and competitor analysis. If you have done these two things really good, you are almost 80% done with your business model. But most of the people fails. They get just excited out of their business idea and they feel what the idea they have come up with is a $1 billion idea and no one on the earth can copy it. No one on the earth can think about it. That's a myth, right? So we all should know in detail about what's going on in the market and what's going on in the competitive stage. That's the most important thing that will give you a foundation to start from where exactly you have to start. For example, if you are developing a baby care product, Johnson & Johnson is there, Procter & Gamble is there, Mamaearth is there, and there's so many players who are already there. But what will be your USP? For that, you need to do a deep market research and a competitor analysis to keep yourself differentiating from others, right? Then once you are done with the market research, competitor analysis, next step is to do the feasibility analysis. Whether your product which you are planning to develop is being acceptable in the market or not, whether it's a profitable business or not. That is the most important thing before jumping or making any big investment. You must be doing the feasibility analysis of your product and services which you want to deliver to the world. And once you're good with the feasibility study and it shows like maybe in 18 months, 24 months, or maybe in a couple of years, you'll be reaching to the break-even position and then you will be in such and such profitable position. You need to develop a complete 5-year business plan for it, right? You need to do a complete feasibility analysis for it to understand what is your cost, what is your raw material cost, labor cost, marketing cost, digital cost, technology cost, and then what will be your sales price to make you to a break even and how much unit of product and service you need to sell to reach to the break even position. And then when you will start earning, and you should have those finance developed and have those pockets with you to develop that feasible business model, right? And once you reach to that stage, next thing is developing a prototype. For any big things to be failed, it's better to experiment on prototype. It's a standard business protocol to develop a prototype first before making any big investment or even before planning for any big investment. So for example, if you want to, let's say, develop a new mobile and you are giving up with the different features of that mobile. For that, first probably you need to develop a prototype of that mobile and then you need to showcase to the consumer whether they are accepting those or not, right? For example, if let's say you are planning to develop some medical equipment, right? Let's say for ECG machine, right? As of now, we all know there is such a big ECG machines and it include like huge cost. And now let's say if you're developing small equipment, which you can attach to your mobile, which anyone can attach to the mobile and attach to their heart and can do ECG in 2 minutes at their home. First, what all things you need to do, develop a prototype, right? In that prototype, you will get to know all the mistakes which could have been avoided if you go in a full blown, right? First and foremost important thing is develop a prototype. Then once you have developed the prototype, then second thing is develop MVP, which is minimum viable product. And to those products, you need to give it to the close group consumer. That's your friends, your family member, your employee, your relatives, and give them an opportunity to experiment on the product you have developed and take the feedback seriously and genuinely. Take all those genuine feedback from your friends, family member, relative, your employee, and with your close group. And do a close group meeting to understand each and everyone's feedback on the prototype you have developed, MVP which you have developed, and do those improvisation. And then also do not go full blown. extend it further to the consumer, extend it further to the limited consumer, and then take actual consumer feedback before making any final product to go into the flu-borne market. Right? And once you get all those feedbacks and your product is ready, you must do a SWOT analysis. I'm sure you have studied in your graduation about the SWOT analysis. I'll quickly say S is your strength of your product, strength of your service, strength of your delivery, strength of your market, strength of your business. Right? Second, understand your weakness. Weakness about your product, your services, your market condition, your business, and maybe like your financial position. Then look at the opportunities in the market and the possible threats in the market, and then go to the next level, which is designing up your product, right? Developing your product. Before going to the full-blown product, what all things you need to keep in mind? Develop a product requirement document. This is the most important document. You know, if you fail to develop this product, then probably you may be losing out developing the product exactly what you want to be. So this is the most important thing for each one of you. When you're planning to develop any product, you must have everything in writing at a one piece of paper that is called white paper, or you call product requirement document. Right? And then start identifying the vendor for respective raw material and respective services and respective job work. And second important thing is technological option and selection, right? In which platform you want to develop your business. That is also very much important. Identify that technology, identify those vendors, and then try to plug it in, or you can develop something of your own. So vendor selection for your raw material, for your job worker, for your technology, for your marketing, or for different distribution channel is being the most important thing. And then you need to develop a complete budget. Complete budget will include what is your forecasted sales, what is your cost of goods sold, what is your raw material cost, what is your overhead cost, what is your production cost, what is your direct overhead, what is your indirect overhead, right? And then give a timelines to it. There's the most important thing is to giving up the timelines for your complete activity which you want to do. And once you have your RFP, PRD ready, you have technology partner, you have all the vendors, you have done with the budget and timeline. Next thing is develop that product and make sure the product is commercially ready to go into the market. So before making it commercially ready, you should have prototype developed. You should have MVP done. You should have taken the feedback from the consumer. You should have taken the feedback from your close group, right? And basis all those feedback, you have done the improvement, and then you are making a mass production and ready for the commercial use. Right? Once your product is ready for the commercial use, you need to have a complete business model in front of you. Right? This is something parallelly you need to develop alongside all the activities you're doing, and this will be a dynamic one. This cannot be a static one. Every business is changing. Every business model is ever changing document. You never feel like any business model is a fixed business model. Once you decided for it, you will go for it. No. As the time change, as the dynamics change, as the market condition change, you need to keep on updating your business model. But what all 8 things you need to keep in mind when you're developing your business model is who all will be your key partners, what all key activities you will be doing, what all key resources you would be needing, what is the value proposition you are giving to your end customer, what are customer relationship you are developing, what all channels of distribution you will be having, and what all customer segment you have, and most important thing is cost structure and revenue source. These 8 things are very much crucial and very much important for developing a complete business model. Revenue source can be your revenue from product, revenue from services, or You can say revenue from subscription or other revenue, maybe interest income, capital gain, any such other kind of revenue could be possible. Cost structure will include your raw material cost, your labor cost, your direct overhead, your indirect overhead, right? All those things you need to develop and set aside in the business model. You need to keep in mind when you're developing your business model, right? Then key partner, who all will be your supplier, who all will be your job worker, who all will be your wholesaler, who all will be your distributor, who all are retailers, who all are your franchisee, who all are your business associate. All those things you need to put in a piece of paper. So when you have this entire picture in front of you, then probably you will embrace what impact you can create on the earth, what impact you can create in the market, how slowly or how fast you can penetrate in the market. The most important thing is key activities, what all things you're gonna develop, what all things you are producing, what all services you want to provide, right? And for that, key resources, how do you manage your finance, whether you take debt, whether you take equity, whether you take loan, whether you take financing, whether you give preference share, whether you take leasing option. How do you manage the finance required for your business? One of the most important thing. Second is, how do you manage the human resource, the talent? It's more important because every successful business is being developed by a great team only. Developing a great team is the key and the most important thing for a successful business. And then what all physical resources like property, plant, equipment, computers, all things is being required. Intellectuals, whether you need trademark, whether you need copyright, whether you need patented, right? Whether you need licensing, whether you are taking something on royalty, all those things you need to look at when you are developing your business model. And most important thing is digital platform. So all those resources you need to keep in mind from where you will gather those resources and how you will be channelizing those resources and what value proposition you're giving to your end customer, like how your product is differently performing than any other product available in the market, right? How your value proposition is different than what is being existing in the market and how no one can copy paste what you have developed, how no one can develop what you have developed. How do you create that entry barrier, right? And look at if you can give it customization possible to the customer, consumer like customization. This is the next era of the growth. I'm telling you, in early 1980s or in 2000, the scale up was of standard product, but in future, in 2030 to 2050 is the customization, because now consumer behavior is more to their personalized need. Now everyone have comfortable money they can afford. Now their preference is the customization. So that's the new era of the growth. If you make certain product which is customizable by the individual need, and individual feel more comfortable when they are customizing it and making up their own need, then you can grow like anything, right? Your product designing, your product branding, your pricing, your cost reduction, value for money. You all know about Big Bazaar. You all heard about D-Mart, right? You all heard about Best Buy. Why we look for these brand value for money, right? How those proposition you can make or you can create for your consumer. That is the very important thing. All consumer centric business are the only business who have reached to the heights. That's the reason whenever you are developing any business model, keep consumer in the center. In earlier days, if you go to the mom and pop shops, you might have seen 𝐒𝐿𝐴𝐻 ही भगवान है, like those kind of small slogan in the small shop, right? They always keep consumer centric to their business, and that is the need of the business. If you genuinely wants to grow, keep your consumer in the center of anything and everything you do, right? And then customer relationship, your consumer care services, your warranty management services, And next is how do you channelize your product and services? B2B, how many of you have heard about this terminology? B2B, business to business. Anyone would like to share what is B2B?
So when a business serves other businesses, the model is considered business to business model, B2B.
Yeah, absolutely true. For example, let's say you are a car manufacturing company and I manufacture automobile spare parts, right? If I'm selling automobile spare parts to you, is it a B2B business or it's a B2C business?
Yes, sir, it is a B2B business.
B2B business, right? And for example, if I have a retail shop and you come to me to buy certain grocery, is it a B2B or B2C, business to consumer?
B2C, sir.
Business to consumer, right? Have you heard about the term B2G?
No, sir.
Yeah, this is business to government. Yes, business to government. For example, like Indian government also, they open up a lot of tenders, right? DRDO, they invite a lot of startup also. GIMS portal, right? All these government department, they open up the tenders for the businesses where you are selling the defense product to the defense ministry, you're selling electronic product to the electronic ministry, you're selling or you're developing certain product and services for the innovation for the government. Right, that is called B2G. That's also a very big segment. And you know, less than 2% of the businesses are into B2G model. Whereas if you see more than 90% growth is available in the B2G market. Have you heard about D2c business model?
Yes, sir, direct to consumer.
Direct to consumer, right? So can you give me some example for direct to consumer?
So there are several brands serving directly to customers, like Boat serves directly to customers from their website. Any business who has their particular website taking orders from there is a D2C brand.
Yeah. So have you heard about OnePlus? Have you heard about MI mobiles?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they have targeted this D2C market, direct to consumer market. That's the reason they were in a position to give great value proposition directly to consumer by eliminating the entire distribution network. Right. And then for you, it's most important to develop a consumer segment. Whether your consumer are local customer, whether your consumer are majorly export, whether your consumer are male, female, kids, rural area, urban area, so on and so forth. This is also you need to keep in mind to whom you are serving. That's the most important thing where people fail. They start selling anywhere and everywhere. All people on the earth may not be your consumer, but if you hit the right consumer, the probability of making the deal will increase 100 times. Right? That's the 8-step complete business model. And now we are done with almost 4 agenda items, which is business idea, idea validation, product development, and business model. Any doubts so far before we jump into the technology development? Feel free to type in chat box or like, am I going in a right pace or कुछ ऊपर से तो नहीं निकल रहा?
Cool. Sir, I think the pace is correct.
Well, thank you. So next thing is technology. You know, now a word, if technology is not in your DNA, then you won't be able to grow, right? Gone those days where technology was not very important, but nowadays, if you are not on technology, if technology is not in your DNA, then it would be very hard for you to grow. So first thing, now your shop is your website. And that's the most important thing in the first step you need to do is develop a website, right? Second thing is application through which you want to give the consumer experience or through which you want to provide the services or through which you want to make the production and provide those good produce to the ultimate consumer. It can be custom developed or you can opt for SaaS platform. So SaaS platform, I'm sure you might be using G Suite, right? Now, like we are using MS Teams. Have you heard about Zoom? I'm sure you might have heard about Zoom, right? Have you heard about Shopify? Yes, no, kuch to jawab do. Have you heard about Class Plus?
Yes.
Have you heard about Salesforce?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Have you heard about Dropbox? Are you guys using
Yes, sir.
Microsoft? Are you guys using Microsoft Office?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
GitHub, Azure, they all are SaaS platform where you are taking their service and paying for the respective services. You are using their platform and getting your work done. Right? So you can use such kind of SaaS platform or you can develop your own platform. And in technology, a CRM is something very much required nowadays. CRM is customer relationship management platform. Like Salesforce, they give like their CRM, as you can say, world #1 CRM, I can say confidently. Right. So in which you will extract all the details of your prospective customer, current customer, and then what all services you can provide to the respective segment of customer and what all products you can provide to the respective segment of the customer. It will help you in segmentation of your consumer. It will help you in driving your email marketing, your SMS marketing, or your you can say product promotion or for your campaigns. And at the same time, it can help you in managing your call center and it gives an extremely consumer-centric experience to your respective prospective consumer as well as your existing customer. Right? So 3 things at least you need to keep in mind when you are developing any business, when you're starting up your business, is your website, your application, whether your own or you want to use SaaS, or the CRM. These 3 things are basic, and then whatever is your business need, and accordingly you need to look for the technology partner or either maybe develop something of your own, or again you can look for SaaS options. Right? The next thing is third-party service integration. Have you heard about Paytm? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Have you heard about Razorpay?
Yes, sir.
Have you heard about BillDesk? Have you heard about BillDesk? Have you heard about Google Analytics?
Yes, sir.
What all are these? These are third-party services which you can integrate with your website and integrate with your technology. Right? So when you go to the Amazon and do any shopping, it will take you to the cart. And then after it will take you to the payment gateway through which you will be making the payment. Right? That's what the payment gateway is. So payment gateway company like Razorpay, we have PayPal, we have Paytm, and we have BillDesk, right? And ICICI Bank, they also have like their own payment gateway portal. So this is something you need to integrate in your website and in your application when you want direct money transfer into your bank account from your customer. Second is analytics. So Google Analytics are being available free of cost. There are so many analytics which you can chip in on your website, your application, or in your YouTube channel or in your social media channel. They give you detailed analysis of who all are visiting in your website or application and who all have visited what all page, how much time the people are spending on your website or in your application, which page of your website they are looking for, from which geographical location those people are, in which category of those people are, male, female, kids, or like are they are working professional, are they entrepreneur, in which company they are working. So everything, almost everything you will get through those analytics. And it must be in your website and in your application. It will give you a deep insight about your business, which will help you developing your overall business strategy as well as developing your marketing strategy for the future. Right? Have you heard about Application Program Interface, API?
Yes, sir.
Right? So I'm sure like almost all of you might be using Amazon, might be using Flipkart, might be using like Make My Trip, Yatra.com, right? You guys are using it. So when you buy, let's say you are using Make My Trip and you are buying, let's say, Jet Airways ticket or Vistara ticket. So one way you are making a payment through the payment gateway, which go to the yatra.com, and at the same time, another link will go to the Jet Airways to issue the ticket to you. That is called API, through the API link that has been integrated in the Make My Trip. Same way, if you go to buy anything on Amazon, one payment gateway link for your payment go to Amazon account. The other link intimation go to the respective vendor to issue that product for your address. Right? That is called API. Fourth is SMS and emails. So for that also you need to take third-party integration. They all are paid campaigns, your SMS campaigns, your email campaign. These are also third-party integration. Fourth is you can have vendor and supplier account management. Like look at Amazon website, they have vendor account. Have you seen the vendor account? Any of you are dealing from the vendor side on Amazon or maybe like you can say Myntra or Flipkart or any such Zomato or Swiggy account? Has any of you have experience being a vendor to any of these service provider? It's okay if you don't have experience, but what they do in this vendor account, you can see all the transaction from the respective customer, how much money the Amazon has received on your behalf, how much commission they have charged, and how much amount is due for you. Right? Same way, I'm sure you all might be having your account with the Amazon, right? So where you can see all your transaction, right? Those are also third-party service integration programs. Right? These all things you need to keep in mind when you are developing your business, a tech-based business, and we are planning to sell or buy anything online. Right? Any doubts so far or anything need more clarification? So far, so good. Are you guys enjoying or feeling it bored?
Yes, sir. It's good so far.
Yeah, it's good, sir.
Okay, so let's move on to the next one, marketing and branding. How many of you have any experience of doing internship or job in marketing and branding? Have you guys have any experience of doing any marketing job, sales
Yes,
job?
sir.
Yeah, do you mind sharing
Yes,
the
sir.
experience? What exactly?
Yeah, sir, I was a sales and marketing intern in Times of India.
What exactly you were doing over there?
Customer relations only. I was working on Salesforce and I was getting in touch with all the customers.
Yeah, so now you can correlate like your experience with this session, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so marketing and branding is the most important factor for any successful business. Here, what are things you need to keep in mind? One is market research. Market research about your product, about your services, about your competition, about your supplier, about your vendor, which we have discussed earlier, right? The second and most important thing, when you have developed your business model, the segmentation and positioning of your product plays a vital role for your success. When you look at Apple, what exactly comes into your mind?
Out of reach.
Yeah, it's a luxury.
Yes.
Right.
And also
Right.
it is trustable technology.
It's a trustable, it's a technology driven, right? It's a number one technology driven, right? That trust is being there, right? When you look at when like let's say Jaguar or Mercedes comes in your mind, what hits you? Share your experience. Let's keep it.
So again, it's luxury.
It's luxury. And when I say nano, what comes in your mind?
Utility, value for money.
Value for money. When I say big bazaar, when I say D-Mart, what comes in your mind?
Again, cost effective and value for money.
Yeah. When I say Snapchat, when I say Instagram, what comes in your mind?
Social media handles.
Social media platforms
Social media platform for young generation.
for Gen Z. Yes.
Yes, right. When I say Facebook, then it's a social media platform. When I say Instagram, when I say Snapchat, it's social media for Gen Z,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, the younger generation.
When I say LinkedIn, what comes in your mind?
So,
Platform for
platform.
professionals.
Yes,
Professionals.
exactly.
So that's the positioning of the business they have developed. Right positioning of your business, of your product, of your service play a vital role for the success of your business. So when you develop your business model, at the same time, you need to look at what position you want to give to your product and service in the market. What problem you are solving, that's important, but at the same time, what position you want to give. When you look at Byju's, I'm sure it comes K-12 in your mind immediately, right? They are into schools education, right? When like FITZY, if I say FITZY, it says like engineering, IITs in your mind, right? They have make it very sharp and clear that what's their position in the market. For what people know you, that's the most important thing, right? Third is your target audience, like we discussed earlier, your distribution channel, right? Whether it's like B2B, whether it's B2G, whether it's D2C, or whether it wants to go through like from your manufacturer to wholesaler to distributor to retailer. That's also very much important. And then branding and logo development, right? If I just put like, for example, like LinkedIn, just IN logo, small logo, if you see IN, you immediately recall it's a LinkedIn logo, right? If you look at Facebook logo, if someone write like small f in that circle, it immediately click that it's a Facebook logo, right? When you see like, for example, Coca-Cola, it's a red color bottles comes into your mind immediately, right? So that logo and brand image is being very much important to create, you can say, neuro impact in the mindset of your consumer. Like when I say thanda matlab, it immediately reflect in your mind Coca-Cola, right? So those are branding and marketing, you can say, tactic those companies has captured, right? So those things also you need to keep in mind for your effective marketing and branding. Those hook words is being very much needed, right? And then next thing is digital marketing. Like nowadays, if you're not a digital marketer, that means you're not at all a marketer. This is something must for every business nowadays. And especially in this pandemic situation, it has changed the entire way of marketing on the earth. Digital marketing, I'm not sure how much of you are being aware of these words, but I'll try to simplify this. SEO, search engine optimization, SMO, social media optimization, right? So this is also very important, like how those organic reach you can increase to your customer and how good you can manage your media. SMM is social media management, like management of your Facebook account, LinkedIn account, Instagram, Twitter, Quora account, or maybe like Snapchat or any other WhatsApp. So all these things can play a vital role in doing all your marketing and campaigns, and it can help in generating a lot of great leads for your business. Like before we start, Anshu said like he wants to go into the content development. So content and video marketing, that's also play a very vital role nowadays. And in addition to that, I'm not sure whether you heard about this term or not, influencer marketing. Have you heard about this term, influencer marketing?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what is that?
So since there are so many social media influencers these days, they have quite a bit of reach. So marketing through those influencers through their social media channels, that is influencer marketing.
Yeah, absolutely true. Would you mind sharing certain examples?
Sir, any celebrity who has a reach, suppose if Deepika Padukone has an Instagram account which has millions of followers, if she wears, if she just makes a post regarding a Mama Earth face wash, so it is bound to reach to millions of people. So that would be influencer marketing.
Yeah, that's very true. And email, SMS marketing, I'm sure we all know. WhatsApp marketing, I'm sure we all know. Affiliate marketing. Have you heard about this term before? Affiliate marketing?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you mind sharing what exactly your understanding is?
So it's pretty much
Sir,
the same.
Yeah.
They are paying bloggers and influencers to promote their product or service.
Yes, absolutely true. Have you heard about ORM? Online reputation management? Have you heard about this terminology before? Oh, online reputation management. You know, there are certain. Yeah, please go ahead.
No, sir, I said I haven't heard about it.
Yeah, so online reputation management is, include couple of things. One is like your Google reviews. Have you heard about Google reviews? Right?
Yes,
Have
sir.
you? Yeah. So if you see like the people who have listed their product on Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, so you'll see the rating of that product, like how many stars they have. Right? Have you seen those?
Yes, sir.
TripAdvisor, when you book for hotels, so you get to know like how much star is for that, right? And then you will see like a lot of people writing comments, right? Some are giving good feedback, some are giving bad feedbacks. And like at some place it's a dirty market also, where like competition try to pull you down, in which the competition will hire certain people to make your ratings down, maybe on TripAdvisor, maybe on Google, maybe on like different platform. And then you need a dedicated team for managing your reputation online. So those teams will respond to those respective comments and then help in turning out those negative comments into positive comments. Or if that is not possible, they were requesting more customer to give positive comment so that it will be average out. That is called online reputation management. Right? So these all things comes under the digital marketing space. In fact, like digital marketing in itself is a very big space where you can do a dedicated course for digital marketing. And even though you can do individual course for the respective section, which we have mentioned here. So it's so big and so vast, but I'm sure what we are sharing here, you can correlate with your experiences, right? Next agenda item is statutory compliances. To make something big, you need to make sure all the statutory compliance you are fulfilling, like type of organization, whether you want to start with a sole proprietor, that means you are individual owner, or you want to do a partnership, you want to create an LLP, you want to create a private limited company, or you want to give some different model like joint venture, special purpose entity, so on and so forth. So first and foremost important thing is to understand the organization type you want to develop. Then formation of that organization. For that you will be needing PAN number, TAN number, director identification number, DSC, your GST, your bank account, your filing with MCA, right? All those things would be required for the formation of respective type of organization you choose to be. Some of them apply to all, some of them apply to respective organization. So all things might not be applied to all category of organization type, but it's completely on you which organization type you choose. Accordingly, you need to form those organization formality, right? And then I'll highly recommend for each one of you, if you're planning to start your own startup, then you must register with the Startup India. You must register with the MSME Ministry, and there might be certain certification required like ISO certification. If your product and services require those ISO certification, it creates a lot of credibility in the market. There are so many benefits to get registered yourself with MSME, so many benefits to get registered yourself with the Startup India. Right, so those kind of certification you should look for, and then taxation compliance, your income tax compliances, your GST compliances, all those things you need to keep in mind when you are setting up your own business. I know you may be involving some of your family member to do this, or maybe some chartered accountant to do this, but this is something you should be aware of. All these formalities or administrative things you must be doing it, right? And last thing is scaling up your business. So first is in this, I put it in two parts. One is expansion of business. Second is fundraising. So for expansion of business, one, look at new product and services, right? Look at new market. Look at developing a subsidiary. Look at expanding through branch. Look at doing merger. Look at doing acquisition. Look at doing joint venture. Look at developing like franchisee model, or you can develop through the distribution network. So there may be some other way also, but these all are certain example which is being heavily used in the market. Majority of the company use any of these models for their business expansion. So new product and services, for example, today you're developing one product and you can go for upward integration or backward integration. Let's say you are developing chips like potato chips. So today you are developing potato chips and getting that packaging done from the third party. Like in future, you can have those in-house packaging department, and you can develop that packaging product also. And then you can do a backward integration. You can develop, you can have your own, you can say farm for the potatoes, right? If you are, let's say, in a meat product, right, you are doing fragmentation of the meat product, and then you can go into the packaging, you can go into the distribution, and you can do the backward integration or having your own poultry farms, right? You can look for the merger or similar kind of business, like you have seen, like Facebook has acquired WhatsApp, right? You all have heard about the deal, right? Same way, like different company go for merger and acquisition of the similar business or the expansion of their business. You know, in a year, how many merger and acquisition Google do? Can any of you guess? Any rough idea or thought? Are you guys with me?
5 to 10 maybe.
5 to 10. Anyone else would like to make a guess?
No idea, sir.
No idea. If you look at Google Financial, Alphabet Financial, every year they do more than 500 acquisitions and merger. Can you imagine? Can you imagine more than 500? They have dedicated merger and acquisition team, and every day, like they are doing some of the other deals. In a year, we have 365 days. They do more than 500 deals in a year. Right? It can go as big as an expansion policy, right? New market. Today, you might be selling your product and service in Delhi NCR. You can expand to UP, you can expand to Uttaranchal, you can expand to Karnataka, you can go to Jaipur, you can go to Rajasthan, you can go to MP, and then you can expand to like Middle East, you can expand to South Asia market, you can expand to Europe market, New Zealand, Australia, Europe, USA. So those all kind of, you can say, geographical expansion could be possible. You can do those expansion by setting up new branches, by franchisee model, by distribution model, by the joint venture, or by opening up your own subsidiary. right? So these are possible ways for your business expansion. I'm sure there would be a number of other ways, but these are most popularly used in the business dynamics, right? Now, the last topic of the day is scaling up your business on fundraising. Fundamental of fundraising. I'll tell you here the stages of fundraising. So maybe like in some other day, we can have a session on fundamental of fundraising, in which I can tell you all these different series and stages of fundraising, how you can raise those funds. That's a very important for a startup, for an entrepreneur to know the stages of fundraising and the way they can raise those funds, right? First, when you start, initially it's your own money, your family, your friends, you do like founder funds and do something starting up, right? Then you would be looking for seed fund, maybe from your friends, maybe from your relatives, right? So that is like maybe initial, you can say HNIs, which is high net worth investor. Maybe in your family, someone who is rich, you'll be asking certain money to put in your business idea. That is called seed fund. So first level of funding is your own fund or your family fund. Then for further money, you may look at your friend circle, you may look at your relatives to give some more money to you for your further expansion, right? Then if you need more money, you look for HNIs, that is called high net worth investor. So they are in India also, you know, one data I would like to share over here with you. We are more than 140 crore. Right, we all know we are more than 140 crore. You know how many HNI, angel investor and venture capitalists we have? Less than 3,000 in the entire India. It's not that people do not have money. People do have money, but their mindset is not there. Here we need to educate those people to be an HNI, to be an angel investor, to be a venture capitalist. I'm sure in your friend circle, in your family, in your as a relative, there are so many people who are rich and wealthy, but they are not the investor. They are earning money, they are putting into the fixed deposit, they are putting into the real estate, but they are not investing into the startup, they're not investing into the MSME, they're not investing on this young generation at all. That's a huge difference. And this difference is on account of mindset. You know, in India, less than 5.5% of the people do the share tradings. Less than 5.5%. And in US, almost 58% people do the share trading. That's a huge difference, more than 10 times. Can you imagine? The reason being is the mindset. That mindset we need to develop to be an investor. And I urge each one of you, once you grow in your life, be an investor. I'm telling you that's a proud and privileged place to be. You know, be a Shark Tank of future, right? So that is the mindset you need to develop from the day one, and develop those mindset of your friends, family member, and relative who are having a high net worth. That's very important. Then there are certain crowdfunding platforms. In India, like crowdfunding is not allowed, but internationally there are a lot of crowdfunding platforms. We also run a crowdfunding platform called 𝐒𝐭𝐴𝐵. So I'm also the founder of that 𝐒𝐭𝐴𝐵, which is a company in US registered in the Delaware. In addition to that, we have Start Engine. That's very good crowdfunding platform in US. 𝐴𝐵, that's also a very great crowdfunding platform in US, right? And then Angel Investor Network. So once like initially you will be investing, then you'll take some seed funding, you may take some government grants, then you go to the HNI for further funding, then you can go to the crowdfunding platform for further investment. And then once you reach to a certain level, you might be requiring angel investors to give you some big money. And then once you want to be a unicorn, you would be needing next round of funding that will come through the venture capitalist. And then finally, The big money will come when you do the IPO. So these all are stages of fundraising, right? And now, before we close, I'll share certain tools and tips for you. Why the businesses fails. That's the important thing to know. You know, why as an entrepreneur, why more than 95% of entrepreneurs fail into their business. When they start, they are very excited. When they start, they have a great business idea. When they start, they do not look at right, left, and center, and they feel what they have in their mind is the best on the earth. Right? But slowly and gradually, their passions start going down. They are failing to pivot their idea. They are start chasing right, left, and center around those ideas. They lose the focus. Why? Why they lose the focus? Because of the crunch of the money. They start looking at bread and butter rather than continuously focus on the idea for which they have started. They have not validated the idea to the consumer. They feel what is in their mind is the best on the earth. They lack on strong value proposition required to the customer. They are unaware of the competition. They do not do enough market research. They do not do enough competition survey, right? And the absence of business plan and business model. And like most of the businesses fail because of inefficiency in their operation. You know, all these things require a dedicated skill set, and we as an entrepreneur feel would like to do anything and everything. If you will do anything and everything, believe me, you will not be reaching anywhere. Focus, a dedicated focus is the must thing for an entrepreneur, what you wants to achieve. And please, please, please do not get into everything. If you genuinely want to become a successful businessman or woman on the earth, please believe in expertise. Please believe in collaborating with those experts. Please believe in hiring those experts. Do not get into doing everything. Right? That's the most important thing. They are unable to build the collaboration. They are unable to build a good high performing team. And most important thing, why most of the young business men and women fails, they do not have mentor or advisor. In your board, you must have a mentor. You must have an advisor from the different field. Take the consultation from them as and when needed. These are certain reasons why most of the businesses fail. Please make a note. People will tell you what to do, but most of the people do not tell what not to do. So here are the things what you should not be doing. And these are most important thing. If you save on this, I'm telling you, you have saved more than 70% of your energy. And those 70% of energy will take you to the next level before anyone reaches there. Right? And one more tools and tips for each one of you. Please make the note of it. There are so many government initiatives, like I said, Invest India. Please visit the Invest India website. I'm telling you, it's a beautiful website and it has so much resourceful website. You will get to know a lot of government initiative and support available to each one of us completely free of cost. Completely free of cost, I'm telling you. And though for those like such a big company paying tons of money, everything is available free of cost for each one of us. Must visit Startup India website. Must visit Agri website. Must visit Atal Incubation Center website. Must visit Atal Innovation Mission website. Atal Tinkering Lab website. And then Hubs of Science and Technology Department of Government of India. I'm telling you, if you look at these websites, you'll get to know so many things government has given to each one of us completely free. Completely free of those resources, and including such a great mentors and such a resourceful investor and investor network completely free of cost available to each one of us. It's we who do not avail those. And second, be a part of the Chamber of Commerce of your respective industry so that you will stay update of your industry, whether it's FICCI, CII, NASSCOM, ASCOM, FIO. There's so many Chamber of Commerce. Look at the industry in which you want to develop the business. Be the member of that industry Chamber of Commerce. That will help you staying update in your respective industry, what all changes are going across the globe. Because these all Chamber of Commerce are being very well globally established and recognized. And their insights are really deep insight, and they have such a big firm like PwC, EY, KPMG, Deloitte, they do the work for them. So what results and response you'll be getting from these Chamber of Commerce is A class, I'm telling you. And then there are certain international Chamber of Commerce like Indo-American Chamber of Commerce, Indo-US Chamber of Commerce, Indo-Canada Chamber of Commerce, Indo-Australia, Indo-Arab Chamber of Commerce. So which respective country you wants to do export of your product and service must register yourself with the respective Chamber of Commerce. And whenever you make the inquiry with them, they will more than happy to answer and to help you. It's from my personal experience. I'm telling you, these all are very informative things, right? Now I'm done with this PPT, and feel free to note down my number, contact details, and reach out to me if you are genuinely wants to looking up and starting up your business. I'll be more than happy to be your mentor. This is it from my side.
We hope that was an interesting session for each one of you. Like we also discussed about Google help us build a great audience and to help catering students like you, I'll attaching a Google link review. And to add to that, Kamal sir's LinkedIn, if you connect with him instantly, you can do so. And the floor is open for question answers. Take that up. Any questions anybody has?
Yes, sir. I have a question. So, sir, regarding the term startup, like which company qualifies as a startup and which one doesn't?
No, there's no like all the new companies which you like just whether it's like your LLP, whether it's your private limited company, which has like less than 3 years of the life, comes in a category of startup to avail the benefit of.
Since like, okay, so since established companies like Facebook and Apple, so these won't be considered startups, right? Because they have grown and established now.
Yeah, no more startups. Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Hi, I would like to ask one thing. Anshul, are you able to access the review link?
Yeah, Arisha, can you put that again?
No, I don't think so. It is not opening.
Yeah, I'm facing the same issue.
I'll put the link again.
Yep. Any other question? How you find this session? Interesting, interactive? How you enjoyed it?
Yes, sir.
It was a great session.
And how many startup I can look out of this fantastic group? Are you guys actually looking to start something? Okay, I've shared my LinkedIn profile. Feel free to connect with me if you need any guidance or any mentoring how to start like startup, or if you have already startup, how to expand your startup.
Sure, sir.
Cool. So now is this Google review link is working, Arisha?
I think she's facing some network issues.
Oh my God.
Apologies, I think I got kicked out of the meeting, but I've shared the link on the chat box. Maybe you all can try and let me know if it's working.
Sure, sure. Just give us a sec.
Yeah, just quickly try this.
Anshul, are you able to access it?
Yeah, I copied it and pasted it on the browser. It is leading to a Google search page.
Yeah, from my side as well. Last time also I was facing the same issue. Sir, I'm sending a screenshot of what we all are getting. Do you mind looking into it once? This is what is opening up when we click on the link.
Yeah, so here you can go to the right hand side below and then like hit write a review.
Sure, just a second, sir.
To look at screenshot, you can go right and go down, write a review.
Oh yeah, got it.
Yeah.
The Facebook page, right?
No, Google review.
Oh, all right.
Let me present my screen really. So I'm sure you might be in this page, right? So if you go down here, and here's a review column. So you can just click write a review.
Okay,
and
okay. Yeah, noted, sir. Got it. Got it.
Okay, I think we are good. And thank you, Anshul, Rudrakshi, and Rohit, and especially to Rohan sir for making this happen. Thanks for your great support and coordinating with everyone. And thanks to each one of you to be a patient listener. I'm sure this session would be an informative for each one of you, and it helps you in starting up your journey for becoming a starter. So thank you from my side.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much. It was a really good webinar, I must say. Personally, I'm not interested in starting a startup. I'm really scared to do something like that. But yeah, it was very enlightening. I got to know about a lot of stuff, and being a commerce student, it was really helpful to me to actually realize what actually is related to what. So whatever we have studied, it got related here. Thank you so much for that.
Thanks a lot. And we are also doing like campus drive for hiring for our edtech company. So maybe like after this webinar, you can connect with Arisha. And if you have like placement drive on, so we can do those also.
Yeah, sure. So we are conducting the internship fair within a few weeks, and yeah, we'll let Arisha know the mail account as well. She can share the JD with us, and we'll proceed further.
Perfect. Okay, so I think we are good for today.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great
Thank you,
Sunday,
Arisha.
everyone. Bye.
Yeah, same to you. Bye bye.